Welcome to the Bullpen. My name is Christiaan Engstrom, CEO at Evia Bio and founder of the Bullpen. And today we are interviewing Michelle Berg. I'm going to keep it rather brief. I do want to tell you a little bit about the Bullpen. Michelle, maybe I'll talk to you as if I'm telling you, but I want to share it with everybody else. The Bullpen gathers life science CEOs and investors with the shared goal of helping each other. So today, we have about 500 or so CEOs and investors coming in for Rare Disease Day, some of which are in the audience right now. And our goal is to help each other. So today we have Michelle Berg, who is a distinguished entrepreneur, also now volunteering with the Whitehead Foundation. She's got probably half dozen projects going on, and this is great because we need her leadership. And today we want to hear from her as to how we can help her as a market. So if you're listening at home, if you're looking at this video later on, please pick up on what Michelle needs and listen to her story and resource her. So Michelle, welcome aboard. We're at the Golden Gate Yacht Club today. And can you tell us a little bit about your background and what that's led to what you're doing today?
So currently I'm serving as a member of the board for the Whitehead Foundation. I've been in this role for about a year and several months. Honored to have been invited to participate by Tom himself. I found my way to the Whitehead story a number of years ago, just over a decade actually, when I was working for a contract manufacturing organization. And that's the bulk of my career spent in manufacturing in support of advanced therapeutics. All told, probably about a 25-year career. And it was a perfect melding and opportunity to bring patient advocacy, which is another role that I held for about 4 years in the rare disease space, alongside all of the experience and expertise gained throughout my manufacturing career. So very honored to serve as a member of this board and also have a number of other projects, as you indicated, in the hopper.
So let's dive into a little bit your entrepreneurial experience, and you don't have to go too much into detail if you don't want to. I'm fascinated with it, but you were this successful executive, and now you've moved into maybe another stage of your career where you're helping. Talk about moving from the for-profit world into the nonprofit world, and maybe what challenges are there to overcome that are different maybe than your time at Aldebaran or other stops along the way?
Yeah, as you indicated, I did come to a close with my time at Aldebaran. I chose to step away for personal reasons, but that allowed me the opportunity to really pick and choose where I share my time, and I feel that that's a significant privilege. But as you said, that does sometimes come with unforeseen challenges or unexpected situations. And I think one of the things that is a significant difference is that not always in the nonprofit world do things move at the speed of for-profit. And that sense of urgency is still there, but the resources oftentimes are not. But I do think that there's a beautiful opportunity in the rare disease and nonprofit space that kind of come together, that we can be creative. We have to be creative. And so it's been really a beautiful thing to see that come through as I've been supporting and working in the rare disease space and certainly nonprofit.
Well, let's talk about your active programs, whether it's the Whitehead Foundation. Talk about what you're working on right now, going into 2024, and maybe we might find somebody in the audience who sends some resources your way. So.
Yes, I also serve on a for-profit organization called Jura Biosciences. So they are a fledgling company that is in the machine learning space, has a new technology for developing libraries that go very deep within the immunotherapy space, as well as another startup out of the University of Minnesota. And I'm working with another group who is looking at bringing forward through food micronutrients that can be identified for the benefit and wellness of humans as well as animals. And I'm really excited about that because that does merge health and well-being with my background in genetic medicine, such that we can now be talking about prevention as well as cure.
Wonderful. And I do want to give a shout out to the University of Minnesota, if you're watching. Hey Gophers, keep up the great work. We got Michelle Berg on our side. How can we lose? I am a University of Minnesota grad, and we got a lot of good stuff going there, so we'll give them a little credit. At the Emily Whitehead Foundation's hone in there, today is Rare Disease Day. What will you be tackling in 2024? What are the big goals?
Sure. Well, we're coming through some really great strategic discussions and planning. Historically, for the 8+ years that the foundation has been in play, it's been a very high focus on how do we support patients and their families to get connected to these advanced therapeutics, either clinically and now, thankfully, commercially. But taking that beyond patient support, family support, and funding the research, where else can we help identify gaps and be able to really plug those holes? And that's the process that we're in right now, is looking at that far out strategic plan of what else could we be if we really think big.
We had an amazing panel earlier today. So many just deeply dedicated people are part of your team at the Emily Whitehead Foundation. It's definitely a good start to combating rare disease. If you had an ask as we wind down this interview, and I'll let you get back to lunch and partnering upstairs and looking out at the Golden Gate Bridge, which has been great here. Beautiful. So thank you everybody who's here. We're having a great day. But there's other people out here that can be helping you. Do you have a particular ask?
Yes, I probably have two. One would be continue the unified sense of urgency for those living with rare disease, and also bidirectional patients. I've been thinking about this, in the time that I've had stepping away from my previous role. I've really thought a lot about the necessity of all of the new individuals into genetic medicine from adjacent fields, antibodies, et cetera, enzyme replacement therapies. And I think that those who have been in this for the 20+ years, 30 years, have to have a certain patience that we're going to have to continue to educate, re-educate, share some of the same information, because the uptake is complex. And likewise, I think that anyone who's coming in and new to this area of delivering medicine has to have, likewise, a high amount of patience to try and understand that we've had to do a lot without significant resources up until some of the funding and investments have been put in the last handful of years. And that, like I said, requires bidirectional patience, because honestly, that's why we're here to do it. It is for the patients. And I think the second item that I would ask is that while we're talking here about rare disease, which could be here in the US defined as any one indication that has less than 200,000 affected individuals, all the way down to one affected individual. And so I would ask, too, that we consider the totality of rare disease, that collectively that affects a tremendous number of people. And as we heard on the panel earlier today, it's not just those that are living specifically with the disease itself, it's the caregivers, the other kind of nuclear family, the loved ones. And I would edge that out even further to the professionals that are supporting, in the case of children, for example, the paraprofessionals at the school, nurses, physicians, et cetera. That's a tremendous amount of impact, and the economic burden is tremendously high. I encourage people to look at the Every Life Foundation report, where it's roughly $966 billion was spent in 2019 alone for only a portion of diseases that were under study. And so my ask is, consider rare disease as a totality, as well as those series of individual ultra-rare and rare diseases, and that affects everybody.
It's a great message to end on. Michelle, thank you for your leadership, and I recommend anybody who's interested in getting in touch with Michelle, you can fill out an inquiry form on our website, and we'll forward it to her, especially if you want to get involved with Emily Whitehead or any of the other initiatives you may find on her LinkedIn. It's an amazing LinkedIn profile. Go check it out. And Michelle, thank you very much.
Thank you, Christiaan.